छाया आसमां देखो झूमता गगन है छाया आसमां देखो झूमता गगन
Hello, 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 hello. What's up, everyone who is all here? It's Saturday night. You are in the star room. Do you know where your mother is? I just thought I'd say that. Welcome. Saturday, March 15th. Who's out there? Anybody? Is there anybody out there? Is Gibson here? Congratulations to Gibson. Gibson has an addition to her family. And we even have birth digits. Woohoo! So maybe she'll be here tonight. She probably will be because she sent me, I think she sent me the email a day or two ago. And so, yeah, a new chart, which is always exciting. At least I think it is. I'm an astrology geek. What else is going on in our lives other than, that thing now that, the thing that Americans don't want to talk about. But the rest of the world is talking about it. I mean, the entire damn world. I think I saw somebody asking about the weather, and we had insane winds here yesterday. And we were fortunate that southern wind kept blowing hard, and it just kind of blew it north of us. We only got a little bit of the storm late into the evening, like, I don't know, 1, 2 a.m. or something. So, yeah, we got some rain. The winds were just crazy. The gusts were crazy, crazy, crazy. And we had them today, too. We had them for half a day today. It was like, yeah, it was really crazy. Although it wasn't tornado, but we're known in the area that we're in. I don't know why, and I'm sure it's tons of other places too, but we're known to have like, what the hell do they call those? They're, not a tornado, but it's what do they call that? It's like a mini burst or some shit, but it's got the power of a freaking tornado, a micro burst or some shit. I forget what they call them. So we didn't lose power. I was like, yes. I thought for sure when the winds started, I'm like, oh shit. But we didn't have anything flicker or nothing. And I'm assuming that's because I think a little over a year ago or within the last year, we did have a power outage. So they had to repair the old shit. And so I guess it's in tip-top shape now. So the high winds came, no flicker, nothing, which was great. So I hope everybody else is faring just as well. I know there's been deaths, tornadoes striking down, and where was that? Missouri or some shit. And there's probably been more. I haven't watched the news since earlier this morning. Let me find this damn chat. Stacy, I got your message, and we'll take a look at that. We will take a look at that for you. Thank you for the Venmo, and same with Gibson. Thank you, everybody who sends money to the channel to keep the live streams going. This is how we roll. We look at charts. You help me, I help you. We keep it going. Let me see if I can find this chat. Why is the StreamYard? There's always some new shit going on and whatnot. Irish eyes. We got Irish eyes here. That's right. It's Irish eyes. Did you just make that up? Let me go follow that channel and see. Is that a new one? Everything's Irish this weekend, right? Christy, I see you. How are you? Yeah, I hope you are not getting that storm. Like I said, very fortunate. Although I have some family members in Alabama, and God, it looked like hell right where they live. Like, I mean, and the thing was gigantic. Where did it not look like hell? You put on the map and it was like, it was the entire continent. It was insane. I was like, what the hell is this? Holy shit. Pluto has come to town. Irish Eyes emailed me. Oh, well, that's okay. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, you must have just done that, which is possible. Wait a minute, Gibson. Let me make sure I got your chart in here. I said, wait a minute, Gibson. I don't even know if Gibson's here. But I just went to my email and yeah. Oh, Irish Eyes did send me an email. Irish Eyes doesn't mess around. Oh, have you been here before? I see you have a name after that. I recognize that name, but might not be this same person. If you've been here before, let me know, because then I won't have to create a chart. But yeah, so the rules are first come, first serve. We go through the queue. We're here every Saturday night at 9:30. We go in order that you appear in the queue. And for those charts, people who send money, I spend more time on their charts. It's just how it works. It's common sense. So, all right, Stacy. Yep, I see you. So Christy's number 1, Stacy's number 2, Irish Eyes is number 3. Irish Eyes does not mess around. Irish Eyes was on the ball. Number 3, Irish Eyes. I'll have to draw your chart up. Gibson is here. I see you, Gibson. Congratulations, amiga. Yeah. A little girl, right? Girl power. Let's see. I'm gonna pass unless paranormal. Okay. Well, I know Stacy wants me to take a look, so Stacy will be number 1. Irish Eyes is number 2. And you know what? I was just thinking I'm cold. We had beautiful weather this week. I mean, freaking gorgeous weather. I think we hit yesterday. I think we were 79, almost 80 degrees yesterday. It was super comfortable, just a lovely week. We didn't have 80s all week, of course. We just had it yesterday. But earlier in the week, we had like 50s, 60s, sunny. It was just gorgeous. And we're supposed to have snow. I think later tonight, tomorrow morning. Yeah, we're supposed to have snow. I'm like, okay, well, there we go. This makes sense. It's the beginning of March. Where's the in like a lion, out like a lamb shit? Here it is. Okay, we got that. So, my mother passed in December. Oh shit. Yeah. As soon as those words came out of my mouth when I asked that question, I felt a little something like, oh damn, I probably shouldn't have said that. Well, you know where your mom is. Looking down at you, smiling with them Irish eyes, right? We can hear you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Stacy. You are welcome, Gibson. MS is here. You started a reading for me last week, and I was waiting in the green room, but the name was different, and I didn't get in. Well, we got to have everything copacetic. It's all got to match. I need a name with the birth information. If it doesn't match the name I see in the chat, then I don't know who you are. So either way, you're in the queue. We go in order. There's a structure here, and that's how we do this. So I do not recognize MS, but like you said, you might have been on a different name. So if I have your chart already drawn up, please let me know what name it's under. Lou S is here. How's it going over there? Lou, how's your weather? Did you just start? Are you talking to me, Lou? Did you just start? Surely you're not talking to me. We start at 9:30 every Saturday. Unless unless we don't. Unless there's technical difficulties. I've got my windows opening, listening to the rain and loving the temperature. Yeah, it was looking whew, I was just glad the southern winds did what they did because they pushed a lot of I mean, it was big, but it was like, okay. But we just had crazy wind. You mean you could hear it. And I did hear the thunder and the lightning later on into the night. But no tornado sirens. And there was this thing when I was looking on, what was it, the Weather Channel, reading it, they had like 6 alerts. And I'm like, oh, geez. Okay. So I'm clicking on each alert. And one's like a red flag alert. I'm like, red flag? What the hell is this? I never heard of a red I mean, I've heard of a red flag, but I've never seen a red flag or heard it applied to the weather for where I live. You follow? Unless you're at the beach and you're about to get in the water and there's a red flag. That's the only time. And I'm like, so what's this shit? Oh, it's because of the high winds and it's a burn thing. It's like there could be fires because of the high winds. And I'm thinking, oh my God. We never usually ever have to worry about shit like that because we're in the Midwest and I'm suburb of Chicago and it's usually pretty green around here. We don't normally ever have to worry about that. But I can say, I don't even need the Weather Channel to say this. For the last 3 to 4 years now, the overall climate where I am, I should say, absolutely drier than usual. Way more. Like every summer, I'm like, damn, is this like California weather? Because it's so comfortable. But normally we get the hot and sticky summers. We haven't had that in 4 years. I'm not saying there isn't a day or two in there where we get it, but normally it's a typical, July, August, nasty summer. Do you know what I'm saying? Not at all. Not at all. It's been scary dry. It's a way to put it because I don't know how else to do it. So MS crazy storm here in Arizona. MS is in Arizona. Whereabouts in Arizona? We got Lou S in Arizona is two. Is two, I said. Okay. As well. I hope you find the job you desire. Irish Eyes is looking for a job. Trying to find a job. I didn't even see that. May have been missing. Yeah, I know, right, Gibson? When you're not around, it's like there's just something missing, right? I think it's probably like that for a lot of the core people, though. All right, so I should probably just stop yapping. We had power outage, but it was super short. Oh, that is good. Well, and thankfully, we're not in an uncomfortable temperatures, like if we were to lose power. We didn't have any uncomfortable temperatures. We were super comfy. So, yeah, it was pretty nice. How do we send money? Well, everybody, how do we send money? Go down below. You saw the email. Surely you saw the Cash App and the Venmo if you found the email. You didn't see the Venmo and the Cash App there? That's hard to believe that you didn't see those. They're kind of like in your face, kind of like do your thing. Yeah. All right, we got a list. Now that we've got a list, I have to get to work. Was I the only one who saw Derek's name? You saw Derek's name? I didn't see Derek's name. But then again, there's a lot of names I don't see. Sean. Okay, Sean, I don't recognize your name at all. All right, but I have your digits, so we'll get to you. So here we go. Here's the list. Christy's first, but she's passing. So yeah, if you're here and you don't want to go, we do need you to say passing, which is why Stacy's listed it this way, because we go in order, and we know who's passing and who's next in line. So Stacy's up first, then Irish Eyes, then Gibson. After that is MS. Then we have Lou S is passing. So that's where the list is as it stands right now. And all right. Stacy's up first. Let me get the link. Again, I'm going to drop the link. It's for the persons whose turn it is. If you don't want to grab the link, you don't have to. It just helps if I'm looking at a chart and if you want to have a rapport with me while I'm looking at your chart. Otherwise, I just look at your chart and I tell you whatever I'm strongly impressed, however I'm guided to talk to you about your chart, and that's it. Just so you know, if you do grab the link, your face does not have to be on the screen. And let's get this party started, as they say. Let's get Stacy's chart up here. Oh, we got Dahlia's chart up there. My bad. Let me do something here. Let me flip that back over. And let's get Dahlia's chart saved. Okay, let me do it. The software has been just giving me, yeah, I was doing some work and I was like, really? Seriously? It's like telling me I don't have access. And I'm like, what do you mean I don't have access? My name is on this shit. What are you talking about? Like, get out of here. And then I shut it down, go back on again, and then everything is fine. I'm not getting any messages about I don't have access. And I'm just like, get the hell out of here. Take your access crap and go somewhere. All right, let me get Stacy's chart up here. Stacy, I dropped the link for you if you're ready, if you want to come into the star room. If not, that's okay. I'll just do what I do. Because you already kind of gave me you already kind of emailed me with or we messaged each other with the information as to what you want me to take a look at. So the only thing with that, Stacy, is well, we'll talk about it when I pull this up. I'm trying to get your chart up here now. Got to get to my S's here real quick. And yeah, I had you up here, Stacy, and then I had to shut shit down because it was just giving me troubles. There we go. We got you ready. Oh, Stacy, you are here. You're here twice. Okay. All right, Stacy, I see you in the green room there. I just had my eyes focused on this. Okay, let's get Stacy in here. Let me take this chart or this list down. Let me get this list started so I can find the damn thing. And we'll get Stacy on. Hello, hello, hello. Is there anybody out there? Okay, maybe it's the other link. I got Stacy's. We got two names here for Stacy. So let me remove that one and let me get this one. Hello, hello, hello. Nothing? Anybody out there? Stacy, are you there? Hello? Okay, so neither of these have Stacy on them. So, all right. We're going to try one more time. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Anybody there? All right, Stacy's not there. Stacy says, send the link, please, but yet she was here twice. What a mystery. Interesting. Very interesting. So, oh, okay. It's telling me she's back. Let's try this again. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
We have you loud and clear. Bam.
Cool. I don't know what happened there.
Oh, who the hell knows? Who knows? You know, it might be windy outside or some shit. I mean, I don't know. Who knows? All right, so let's get this chart back on this thing here. There we go. Okay. So we're gonna look. You are feeling like you're probably going to need the services of a lawyer. Is that correct?
Well, I'm looking at, yeah, I'm
Okay.
I'm thinking about possibly I may have to do a lawsuit for medical neglect.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm kind of wondering if you see that anywhere in the next few months. It's
Well,
kind of a touchy situation because my doctor is is I don't want to, they're not,
you don't have to
it
say much more. I mean,
it's
I get
adopted family to another family member's wife.
hmm
And she's actually not a doctor. She's a PAC, but um
you need the
yeah,
services of a lawyer. At least you're thinking that's what you're going to be needing. So
possibly I'm
you're
debating on what to do.
debating.
Yeah, because it's definite neglect on their part.
So why are you debating then?
Because I don't know if I want to go through the hassle.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know,
Well,
like I said, brings in family
yeah. That's what I was going to
situation.
ask. Is that would be to me the thing, friends and family thing. Well, I guess regardless of what the astrology says, it sounds like you have a decision to make.
Yeah.
Regardless of what the astrology says,
She takes
you have to figure out what you
advantage
wanted, what
of
you
the
want to do.
fact that we do have these connections. And yeah, I ended up on the day of the lunar eclipse. I had another appointment after an appointment with her, and I told the nurse to let her know if she wasn't in the room by this time, I was leaving because I had another appointment. And she was just testing me. I know. She's a Scorpio Mars. And she didn't come in, and I left. And I was, which shocked her because they were all standing outside the front door of the room I was in. And she was like, I'm sorry. It's like she didn't believe me. And I ended up telling her I was very disappointed in her and had so much adrenaline in me when I left. They have to buzz you out um, to go out the door, and the door is really heavy, a heavy wood. And normally it's like a struggle to open it, but man, I had so much adrenaline going through me that I pushed that door open and it hit the wall. Sounded like a gun went off.
Hmm.
It was like I was so upset because this is not the first time this has happened. I mean, there's been times when I've sat for hours. Two other
Mm.
times I sat for hours in a room.
Well, there might be an easy way to figure this out in terms of, you know, if you're actually going to go ahead and do this. And sometimes, um, realistically, if you go ahead and talk with a lawyer, and they may say you have a case or you don't have a case.
Right.
And well, do you know what I mean? So the question would, or the thing would be to take that first step to find out what they tell you. You know, if they're saying no, there's nothing we can do with this, well, then there's your decision. Nobody has to know that you spoke with a lawyer. Nobody has to know anything.
Right.
And if it doesn't go forward, then it doesn't go forward, and you tried. But really quickly in your chart, your Mars is at 16 in Gemini,
Stop it.
and that Mars, whenever it gets triggered, it triggers your Uranus and your Pluto, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's that trigger point. So Jupiter right now, lawyers, courtrooms, the justice system, Jupiter sitting here at 13 degrees, the action degree. I want to take action, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a few degrees away from your Mars at 16. Mars is my body. It's also taking action. You're thinking about it. Mars and Mercury, or Mars and Gemini, seventh house. So, the opportunity, in at least in your mind, is like, this might be the best route for me to take. But at the end of the day, I'm thinking, well, if you go ahead and you have a chit chat with a lawyer, that's probably the best way forward. I know you'd rather be like, well, does the astrology say I can do that? Well, Jupiter will touch Mars. It triggers Uranus and Pluto, which is pretty powerful, that combination you have.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you're probably going to seek out a lawyer regardless of what I say, just to see what they have to say. No?
Yeah, I am. I am.
Yeah, I'm saying that you're not going to sit on this. Like, this is intense. This is powerful. It can be life-changing, but we'll see. Once this stuff moves on, Jupiter is going to trigger the Mars, trigger all that, and goes into your 8th house of shared values, right? Shared values, other people's money. I hear the little one.
Yeah, she knows I'm upset.
So did
Calm
this happen
down. I'm
today?
fine. No, it happened the other day. It happened Thursday, the day of the eclipse.
Right,
Or
right,
the
right. You did
eclipse
say that.
happened that night.
Yeah, you
But
did say that.
I
Well,
was like, how convenient.
Well, in your chart, if you look closely, your Chiron is at 26 in Pisces. So you've got the North Node barreling down on it while the sun is coming up on it. You see this?
Mm-hmm.
It's the sun, it's your Chiron, it's the North Node. Well, remember, the ancient ruler of Pisces is Jupiter.
Right.
And it's interesting because what you described in family, 4th house cusp line, 26 degrees, right?
Mm-hmm.
Really, really interesting. And then, of course, Venus going through your 4th house, and it's a Venus and Mercury retrograde. So, right between the Venus and the Mercury is a Jupiter Pluto midpoint, and it's at 8 degrees. So, if you're feeling like, I don't know, legally that you might have some grounds here, and if the lawyer tells you you have some grounds, you still have a bigger decision to make after that, which is, this will probably create a huge, what's the word? A huge wound within the family, a crevice, a division. I mean, I don't know. There might be some animosity, right?
I'm not, yeah, and that doesn't concern me too much.
She said, that doesn't concern me. I don't care.
I'm the black sheep of the family anyway.
You're already the
So,
black sheep. Well, that was what I was going to say with this Chiron, that feeling of isolation, Pisces
right.
energy, the feeling of isolation within the family, and it getting triggered, like the North Node and the Sun triggering all that. I should say triggering it, but then also like rubbing salt in that wound that was already sitting there.
Well, and it's a valid thing because I was there for serious reasons, and she still hasn't answered me back about seeing a cardiologist.
Oh, geez. Well, then do what you got to do.
Yeah, I
Don't
mean, I am
hesitate.
going to switch doctors.
Well, yeah, that would be number one.
Well, she's not even a doctor, but, I mean, I don't want to dismiss or discredit all the work that PACs have put into
Mhm.
their careers, but the least she could do, because I asked her, do I need a referral to see a cardiologist, or is this somebody, can I just call one up, which I'm pretty sure I need a referral.
Yeah,
And
probably.
and it's like, I mean, it's just not something, if something showed up on I had to wear a patch, it was like for a week, 2 weeks, that recorded my heart, and there was an issue, and it just kind of got blown off, and I don't want to blow it off. I want like a full workup because I have a family history of heart issues.
Well, it sounds
Eh,
like you know what you're doing. You're getting a different doctor, and probably going to have at least a phone call with a lawyer.
Yeah.
But new Uranus, different, disruptive. Uranus is sitting right here on your Venus and your North Node in your 6th house of health.
Yeah. You're gonna live. We're all gonna live, okay?
Oh, she sounds like she's not happy.
No, I was awake all night long. I've had a migraine too, and plus on top of everything else, I was sitting in there for an hour in pain. They were supposed to give me a Toradol shot, which was like Advil amped up, and nobody came in, and I was in pain, and she knew I was in pain. Leave my cord alone. And then I didn't sleep last night, and she was up all night long and slept all day. So,
All right. Well, I think that,
talking to a lawyer is the first thing,
yeah, well,
to do.
search out a new doctor
Oh, I
without a
already
doubt,
got one.
because regardless of what happens, you just need someone who will be attentive to your concerns and to your needs. And then, like I said, you're going to have Jupiter going through your 8th house. And of course, what's in Stacy's 8th house? Family. I mean, it's kind of crazy, but this is what it is. It's what it is. You got family in the 8th house. And so Jupiter will be there. Now, it's going to be a little bit of time before Jupiter gets there. But what are you at? 27? Yeah, see, your 8th house doesn't begin until 27 degrees. So we're talking like May, Jupiter gets close, because it goes really fast from that point on. It just rushes. July, it's 0 degrees. 0 degrees of Cancer. So yeah. We'll see how this progresses for you, but to me, the other thing too is in your chart, if you look at your 3rd house cusp line and your 9th house cusp line, I mean, I know you got your moon there, you got quite a few objects there. If I go ahead and do this will kind of make this a little bit easier to see. I'm sorry, shit's moving slow. Your moon is right there, right? Well, that 9th house cusp line is lawyer energy and the courtrooms and the law. So the 14 degrees, well, that's the Taurus degree. That's the Venus degree. So I think it's interesting. And look, even freaking Pallas Athena is trining in your chart. Look at this. You even have Pallas Athena that trines that. Wow. She's the strategist. She's the thinker. Interesting. And again, the moon, your family. So there's a lot of things that you have that kind of support this sort of a thing. this sort of energy.
Knock it off.
All right, I heard her, and that's like, okay, it's time to end.
One last question.
She's like, I'm serious, damn it.
Do you foresee a move anytime within the next, I don't know, few months?
Well, you'll be having Jupiter going through your 8th house of home and values. The Mars energy. Mars is, let me see what we got here. Let's speed things up for you a little bit. I know we went through this last year. It's kind of around the same time. It seemed like you thought you were moving in June, and that didn't happen.
Yeah, this would be probably a local move.
Well, I can understand Jupiter triggering your Mars and this need for change in general, because it triggers your Uranus and Pluto, right? So for you, it seems like these things kind of just, they're going to all happen together. Now, does it actually happen? Well, let me see. 3rd house cusp line. Where's your Pluto at? Pluto stays in your 2nd for a long time.
Yeah.
All right. 3rd house. Anything else? Venus is going through the 3rd. Then Venus is going to go back into the 4th. You do have a lot going on in your fourth because you've got Venus and Mercury, the retrograde going through there, and everything's going over your Saturn. You know, the foundation, the stability, the structure, the order in your fourth house. So you might be looking Venus and Mercury touching the Saturn 3 times, going over your fourth house cusp line of home and family 3 times. Both of them, all of it.
Okay, because I might have an opportunity to move into, or at least a chance to move to a different apartment
Oh,
in
so
a
you're saying
different,
really
in a
local. Same
different,
building, just a different apartment.
yeah, in a
Gotcha.
different neighborhood.
Oh, okay. So it's not the same. Okay.
Right.
Well, and then the sun, even in April, the sun starts lighting up your fifth house.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like the sun 11 days later, it's already in your sixth house. So what happens wherever the sun is, that lights that area up. It becomes energized. It
Right.
becomes our focus. That's a huge part of our life at that point. So the fifth house, children, fun, joy, creativity, romance, you know, fifth house things, having a good time. Um, and then 11 days later, sixth house, trying to figure out maybe organizing day-to-day routines because it's Taurus energy, your values, your money. But what happens is then the sun will square your moon, you see, because that
Uh-huh.
transiting sun, you got a 14-degree moon. So that's the home. So, that's in April. Gets closer to like the end of April when it does that. Now,
Okay. I'm going to be house sitting actually from middle of
oh, well, maybe that's
April
why then. Yeah.
to middle of May.
Okay.
B-
Well, the Uranus energy definitely going through your seventh house of partnerships. Uranus will be at 25 degrees by then. Uh, and then there's big changes for everybody as Uranus moves into Gemini, right?
Yeah.
And not
Mm-hmm.
far apart from the same time that Jupiter enters into Cancer. So partnerships and neighborhood. You asked about moving, possibly neighborhood. You have partnerships in the seventh house. You've got Juno at 0 and Sirius at 0. So new and exciting and different. Even if it's not a big move or if it's not even like a move, well, people, significant one on one relationships is definitely amped up because
Right.
Uranus is going to be touching in on that. And that's busy energy. Gemini's busy energy, whether we're talking, thinking, learning, sharing ideas, being busy locally, right? Um, but
Talking to a Mars and Gemini. Yep.
yeah, yeah, it makes a person get busier. But the partnership energy can even come down to like if you sign a new lease somewhere, because
Right.
seventh house is contracts. You follow?
Uh-huh.
And Juno was there at 0. So it's a good possibility. So if you're looking or you already know that something might come available, then it's a damn good possibility.
I've been on a waiting list for years for this place. It would be just a great place to live, and there's a uh, walking trail for that Chloe and I can
Mhm.
walk on. And I mean, it was just, they're
Well, that's
nice
great.
apartments. And
That's
I'm
good.
still planning on moving out of Juneau eventually. But I would give after moving this one time, I would give myself like a 2 year, 2 or 3 year time frame to prepare for that and figure out where I want to move to.
All right. Sounds good. Sounds like you got it all figured out. You've got all
All
these plans, which
right.
is great.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Give me an update. Let me know. Let us know here,
Oh,
like
I
what
will.
you ended up doing.
Definitely will. And Irish Eyes is next.
Okay. Thank you very much, Stacy. I appreciate that.
Hey, you're welcome.
Yep.
Thanks, G.
Yep. I hope the little
Bye.
one gets calm.
She will, now that she'll have my undivided attention.
Absolutely. She's already calm and quiet. Bye, little one. All right. So we're moving on. Um, Irish Eyes. We need Irish eyes up here. I need the birth digits. Let me get that chart drawn up real quick. Yeah, because Stacy's going to have Uranus in Taurus at 29, a nice sextile to Saturn. So that's a really strong possibility. It's Saturn in Pisces. Very strong possibility for her. Let's see the email for Irish eyes. Oh, okay. Okay, so Sean. I don't know if that's Sean. I'm just reading. Alrighty. Let me get this chart up here. I got to draw the damn thing up first. Okay, we've got Francesca here. Let's get Francesca in the. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
Hello, we can hear you. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I am hanging in there. I heard you're looking for work.
Yeah.
Just like me and tons of other people, damn it. Well, we'll see. We'll see how your chart looks. We'll see if you are in the process of finding something soon. Have you been looking for a long time?
Yeah.
Alrighty, let me get your chart drawn up. So how long have you been looking about? I mean, roughly.
Months.
You said months?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let's see here. Let me get your digits. And the software is going to be stubborn. Did you guys have any crazy weather?
No, just rain.
Recently?
Lightning, rain.
Oh, but no crazy tornado, high winds, or flooding or anything.
No.
Thank God.
No.
Okay, this computer will not put the letter E. Are you serious? What the hell? This technology is just trying to stress the hell out of me.
Isn't Mercury in retrograde?
Yes. Yeah. In my chart, there's a lot of T-squares with my Mercury, with my third house cusp line, and it's just like, okay, let's just get this shit over with already. All right, so it says here your November birthday, is that correct? Is that November?
25th.
Is that November 25th?
Yeah.
All right. And all right, and we've got you at 1:32 a.m. Is that correct?
Yeah. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Birth time. That's exactly what we want. And we're going to get you in here from Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh or Pittsburgh. And I always forget how to spell these things, all these N's and stuff. And this software will really just be a pain in my ass if I don't spell it right. Okay, let's see what we got here. Have you seen your chart before?
Yeah, I've read with you before.
All right, so you're a Virgo ascendant?
Yeah.
All
Sun,
right.
Sag, Gemini, Moon, Jupiter, Libra, Venus, and Scorpio.
Okay. So you got Pluto at 27 in your first house. So this means you got the South Node sitting on your Pluto. So let me see what else I can see. I got to take a look at your chart. Did you say I've looked at your chart before?
Yeah. Francesco.
Aha. So that means I have you in the system twice. Got it. Okay, look at that star you got. Alrighty. Okay, 2, 7. All right, Venus, you have it at 18. And that's important. Your Venus is going to be important. She is your greater benefic. It sucks that it's a quincunx to your moon. And Nessa's there. But we deal with these energies. We learn how to work with them. Okay, so North and South Node natally. Your North and South Node 17 degrees in Virgo and Pisces. So what this means is you got the North Node in your 7th house at 27. The big change will be when these nodes get closer to your ascendant and descendant, and of course to your own nodes. Now, the fact that you got Pluto at 27, this is a change you're in now. And the ascendant can be the appearance, the physical body. It can also be location. Location at the job, because it's in Virgo, right? How you appear at the job, that kind of energy. The Virgo energy, they kind of look like they're prepared, well put together. They got the tools, the gadgets, that kind of thing. 27 degrees is the mind, it's thinking, it's communications. So you see the South Node is a big release, and the Pluto is all about change. So are you looking for work in the same field, in the same thing you were already doing that you basically probably,
I'm looking for anything.
Okay. Because if you got experience in one certain thing, Pluto wants change. Pluto energy,
Well,
have you made changes? Have you, the thing
I'm
with
on this
Pluto,
app.
I'm sorry?
I'm on this app, and it gives me different kinds of jobs. I do
Mm-hmm.
have a part-time job at the for the Penguins.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
That's
Um,
okay.
I'd like to get a full-time job
Sure.
there. I've been there 8 years, but it seems like they have more favoritism there. So I was kind of looking for, keeping that job and then trying to find a.
Yeah, you got your Neptune down here at 28 in Scorpio. So the North Node and the Neptune had already trined that. All right, well, we're going to stick with the nodes and your Venus. That's probably going to be some trigger points. Let's go look at the midheaven next. Jupiter, 22 degrees. All right, your midheaven, 22. This is not far off at all. Uh-oh, I think I lost Francesca. Yeah, I think I lost Francesca. Is Francesca still here? Well, Francesca, I think we lost you, but I'll just keep reading your chart. Your midheaven's 22 degrees. Jupiter is not far off from that. Okay. Oh, I think she might be back. Let's go take a peek. Yep, she's here. Let's see if she's here. Okay, are you there?
Yeah.
All right. All right, so we're looking at your midheaven. Jupiter is it's not far off from that 22 degrees. I want to see. All right, so that's a quincunx. Yeah, you got stuff at 22 right here on your second house cusp line. So it looks like when the Jupiter starts aspecting that second house, which is ruled by Venus, that could be positive for you. So I'm thinking we're going to put it at April. So whether it's recognition and a bonus recognition and an opportunity. Oh, I think she's gone again. Well, if it keeps going in and out, it might be best for you to just listen without having to be on the thing. Sometimes if there's not enough bandwidth, it'll there's just not enough juice to keep you on. And we'll do this one last time. Hello,
Yeah, I'm
hello.
here. I'm here.
All
I'm here.
right. If it happens again,
Sorry.
you can just listen to what I'm saying as I'm looking at the chart. So yeah, April. Jupiter's going to be close enough to aspect and have a conversation with your second house cusp line, while at the same time close enough to your midheaven. And I like this for you a lot because Pallas Athena's down here at 17. We got a lot getting triggered. Jupiter and Venus, I'm sorry, Pallas Athena and Jupiter having a conversation. And your second house cusp line being Venus ruled, I think that's positive because Libra, Gemini energy, Venus and Mercury, they conversate often. So this is April.
Like early
Yeah,
April or
April
like
12th. This chart shows April 12th. Now, it's possible there might be something else that's going on sooner because your natal Mars is in air at 14 degrees. And your Jupiter is here right at 13. So it's already aspecting your Mars. So whether you're actively looking, networking is huge with Jupiter and Aquarius energy. I mean, huge. So it's all about getting your name out there, talking to people, having interviews, like actively, because that's Mars, physically, actively being involved and showing you are this, you're hungry, that you want it. Because you even have a midpoint in Libra. Let me click this off for a second. Let me see if I can get onto that midpoint. You have a Libra midpoint at 16 degrees. You have a really sweet trine that supports your moon because Jupiter will be on your moon then, right? At 17 degrees. So you've got this at your moon at 17, you got Mars at 14, and you have a Jupiter Uranus midpoint. Aha. So that's a new relationship. Remember, Libra can be business relationships. This is conjunct your second house cusp line of money, of income. Because it's
cool.
Venus ruled, I think that's very positive for you. So it looks like you will have at least interviews, if nothing else. And once you get those interviews, it's in your hands, so to speak, to make it happen. But the good news is Venus is part of this. That's actually really good news. And your midheaven. Now, Jupiter is not your greater benefic, but it's talking to Libra energy. And the Jupiter at your midheaven means recognition. Recognition, reward. Sometimes it could just be a pay raise. Sometimes it could be, hey, maybe there is an opportunity for full-time at that gig that you're at. I don't know. But it'll be Jupiter triggering your moon, which is the emotions. It's usually optimistic. Ninth house. We're seeking, we're searching, we're talking, communicating, publishing. Networking is big here.
Do you see marriage in
So
my
this is
future?
optimistic.
That's cool.
Now, you do have the Venus and the Mercury going through your seventh house. This is also that partnership energy, and they are doing retrograde. So you might get interviews and feel like, okay, am I going to get called back? There might be a lot of, are we on or are we off? This is the energy that we're in. We can't do anything about it. Like, this is how it is right now. It's kind of insane. And yours is in the seventh house. So again, these can be your significant partnerships, but also whoever hires you. It is also contract work when we're in the seventh house. So we might pick up something over here, pick up something over there for 6 months or whatever, whatever the contract is, until we find the thing that we really want. But honestly, I feel like I'm just going to repeat what I always say, which is we want to make sure that we understand once we're out of those retrograde zones, which means we're beyond 9 and 10 degrees of Aries. Once we're past all of that, then we know that things aren't changing. They're more stable then. We're not changing our mind, or they're not changing their mind, because then the retrograde and all that is over. So
Do you
my
see?
recommend.
Do you,
I'm
do
sorry.
you see a second? I'm sorry. Do you see a second marriage?
Do I see if there's a what?
Second marriage.
Oh, a second marriage. Um, well, the aspects that I just talked about, which is Jupiter at the midheaven. Anytime we talk about midheaven and second house, this is love, values, and desires. So it's Jupiter. Jupiter doesn't necessarily mean long-term commitment. Saturn does, and Saturn is the midheaven, but Jupiter being there might trigger the long-term commitments. You do have Saturn in your 8th, and this Saturn is going to be aspected by Pluto. Actually, it's getting close. It's getting very close. Pluto's at 315. Your Saturn is at 325, which requires change and transformation with deeply bonded energy in committed energy. So I would think that this means you are either already in a relationship and thinking, okay,
I'm
is this
single.
going to get, I'm sorry?
I'm single.
Okay, well, then something is changing about your psychology, about your wounds from the past, and that has to happen first. Make sense? Because that's what Pluto's working with. It's working with your Saturn and long-term commitments with emotional bonded energy, physical bonds. So this Pluto is changing and transforming that Saturn wound associated with those long-term commitments. So it's possible, but again, the work has to be done. It's your 8th house. That's not external, that's internal. That's your deep psychology for yourself. So once you do that and make those changes, whatever those changes may be, well, anything is possible at that point. But, you know, don't give up hope, because eventually Saturn will ride through your 6th and then through your 7th. And sometimes they say that creates restrictions if it goes through the 7th, but it can also create long-term commitments going through the 7th, because 7th house is contracts and a marriage is a contract. All right. I hope you found this helpful.
Right, thank you.
You are welcome. All right. So Kay, the Taurus, I see you in the green room, but unless you're in the queue, we have an order and a system here, and maybe you're one of those names that are next. I'm just letting you know, giving you a heads up that you might be sitting there for, well, you'll sit there until it's your turn. It's just the way it goes. So let me go to here and see for sure who comes after. That was Irish Eyes, who turns out was Francesca, and I created her chart. I didn't need to. All right, so I think MS is the last. Is MS next? Let me find that. We had a. Let me see. MS, where's that list? Oh, it's Gibson. Gibson, you are up. Is Gibson still here? Hello, hello, hello. Is Gibson here? All right, Gibson's here. Let me get this chart up. Gibson was next. Let's do this. Hello, hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, excellent. We got you.
Yay!
Very good. Very, very good. This will make this easy because I've got the chart already drawn up.
Oh,
Let
thank
me get it on the screen real quick here.
you. You're the best. I'm glad it didn't blow away yesterday.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy during the day, and they were like, "Oh, it's going to get worse," and I'm like, "Oh, wonderful."
Oh, yeah, that's what I kept hearing from Ryan Hall, y'all's, on YouTube.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
It's just a meteorologist.
Gotcha.
It's live.
Oh, he does it live?
Mm-hmm. He had all the tornadoes.
Oh, geez. Great.
And there was one in Chicago, near Chicago last night. It was crazy.
Well, the thing was, hours before evening, it's like I could hear the storm.
Yeah.
I could hear it. Not the thunder and the lightning so much, but like the force. I know that sounded crazy. The force is with you. It was like the wind, like the
Oh,
force you could, and it was like, oh my God. I'm like, I don't even know what the hell nighttime's going to be
I
like.
know. Oh, it's crazy
But
now.
that powerful wind, like I said, kind of blew, I think, a big chunk of it north of us. And many times, because I'm kind of where we're located, we're south of the city, and there's almost like this little teardrop of a bubble.
Oh,
And
good.
I don't know. Sometimes it seems like it happens a lot where the predictions kind of blow right past us, and we're like, oh, okay.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. All right, so let's take a look at this youngster's chart.
I know. She's so cute.
Okay, well, Cancer on the ascendant.
Yes.
And she said she's so cute. And look it. It's interesting because the feminine energy is really strong. This is the 16 degrees. That's moon energy. Feminine energy. It's Cancer's feminine, but so is that degree.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so there she is with her Mars in the first house.
Mars.
Okay, so this
18. Yikes.
well, in terms of self, she could very well, as she grows up, be and even as a youngster, get a little bit frustrated and impatient with herself.
Okay.
And possibly with family and mom. That might be something that happens along the line somewhere. Because that degree, that 18 degrees,
Mm-hmm.
isn't that the Virgo degree?
That,
And if it is, which I believe it is, because 17's Leo, then that's like the domestic stuff. So it's a combination of Virgo and Cancer energy, which is home and family and routines and, just the details, the
mm-hmm.
tasks, the projects. And when we're young, well, we don't want to do no stinking chores, you know? But for this one, that actually might be really good because Mars energy, well, you know all about Mars energy. It kind of needs an
Yeah.
outlet.
Yes.
And this means an emotional outlet, a healthy emotional outlet. And the Virgo stuff can be, paying attention to the details, require a lot of energy, but the practical stuff. So being able to do things around the home, cleaning, just things that we teach
Yeah.
kids, or we used to
Right.
anyway. Chores, like we
Right.
were all
Right.
chores was a big thing. It teaches responsibility,
Right.
accountability. I mean, it's
Right.
freaking
Right.
super important.
Yes.
So yeah, that would be good. Let me see if she's got any uncomfortable.
There's a 29 degrees something. I can't.
Well, I'll get to it.
Oh. Okay. Well, of course.
Yeah, she's got Neptune because that's, yeah, you see that? Well, she's got that her midheaven at 28, Pisces midheaven at 28. And what's interesting is that's more moon energy. Family,
Mm-hmm.
more moon energy. Kind of fascinating, actually, considering.
Everything seems to be about like the home. I kind of felt like this energy of like home, and like, but home might be tricky, and it's sounding like it the way you're doing it.
Well, we'll see. Let's look a little bit further. So yeah, she's got her Neptune at 29 because this little one was just born.
Yes.
Pisces is so strong too with this one. So the sensitivities are going to be really high for her.
Oh.
Obviously, Cancer energy, we're sensitive, physically sensitive. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
But she's got a Pisces sun at 24 degrees. So the positive thing with that, as opposed to this like being in her 12th, is it's in the 9th house of adventure, optimism, and learning. Also the placement of spirituality. So Pisces does okay here. Jupiter and Pisces get along.
Mm-hmm.
So the high levels of sensitivity, needing time for solitude, reflection, music, sound, escape, healthy escape outlets will be extremely important because of because of all the energy in Pisces, but also having a sun at 24 degrees in Pisces. So energetically sensitive, right? Highly, highly intuitive.
Yes. Well, you're just nailing it.
Well, she's a few days old. How the hell do you know if I'm nailing it? I'm like, I appreciate the vote of confidence, but I'm just saying.
I mean, I kind of like
Saying here.
that, and you're just putting words to a lot of what
To
I'm.
what you've observed already.
Well, no, that even before she was born.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, she. Yeah, yeah. I knew she.
Well, so the thing is to just make sure that, and I know you're not the mom, I get it. But when you have time, when you're with this little one, just having, creative time, because that's Pisces, even if it's not someone who's music or, who likes to write music or play an instrument, there's a ton of really simplistic ways to be creative.
Mm-hmm.
And you do tons of different creative things. So, because some order and some structure will be important, even though the Saturn and the Sun are together. And when this is a combust, which it is, which means her Saturn, like, this is my goal. This is what I'm working towards. It's the Saturn. Well, it's combust, which
Right.
means the discipline, the work ethic, the, I must do this, my duty, my responsibility. The Sun being at 24 kind of dissolves some of the duty and the responsibility of Saturn. And it doesn't help that that's a Saturn in the ninth. Now, is all hope gone? No, because so much, we can be so shaped and molded when we're young.
Yes.
So shaped and molded.
Mm-hmm.
And just as long as mom and dad and family are being sensitive, and that, this doesn't mean to treat someone, like they're going to break. It doesn't mean that. It just means to encourage their strengths and their weaknesses, encourage more work on the weaknesses. That's all, but on the flip side of it, look at the 10th house that Saturn rules. All Aries.
Yes.
Let's do this. So sometimes when people have a 10th house flooded with Aries like this, they like to start different jobs all the time, different careers. They love starting. They might have a hard time following through and finishing them. It's a possibility. Okay.
Okay.
Poor child. I'm only saying this because her Mercury is also at 9 degrees. She's got a lot of Jupiter and Pisces energy in her chart, and even her Mercury is at 9. So again, sound and music and creativity, fantasy, sci-fi, writing. Mercury is a writer. Is Mercury a writer when she's in the 10th house? Is she a writer when she's in Aries? She's probably going to take action, but she could, I don't know, put some sort of tangible expression to her thoughts, which would be important for Aries energy.
Mm-hmm.
Her Venus in Aries, a love for freedom, which that Mercury would be for sure, because 9 degrees is freedom, and so is Aries. So this little one is going to be, I'm the boss of my own life. You're not the boss of me thing, because she's got Aries in the 10th. Aries can be a little naive. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously children are, but this one will be really intuitive. And so that combination might be tricky. It might be tricky because of the high intuitions. And when someone is really intuitive at a young age, you know how adults are.
Yes.
They kind of brush aside some of the things that they hear the children talking about or saying that they can see. And this is important, that they can see and hear. Pisces. I can see and I can hear. Possibly things others can't see or hear. Pisces, it's images. It's also sound. So that's going to be important. And having, like I said before, a healthy outlet, but use the imagery and the sound to be creative, right? 9th house is publishing.
Right.
9th house is publishing. So back in the day, that would mean, oh, this person's going to write a book. going to be really creative, right?
Right.
Because it's Pisces, sci-fi, fantasy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, people are publishing everything. Put up a video on
Right.
YouTube. You've published a video.
Right. Right.
There's a lot of different ways.
Right.
But one of the main things with that sun, other than the sensitivities, is her battery being recharged in all ninth house things. So travel would be probably huge.
To recharge your batteries.
Probably vacation, travel, nature.
Mm-hmm.
This would be a person. I always use Walt Disney as an example. She's even got Cirrus here, spending time in nature.
Mm-hmm.
When we do that, when we have this kind of strong Pisces, we really feel like we've stepped into another realm because we're connecting to the plants, to the planet, to the animals. And that's a really great way to get the Mars energy in her first house and the Aries in the 10th.
Yes.
To find a little bit of freedom without having to break the bank or to drive mom and dad crazy or whatever, right?
Right.
And it at least gives grandma, a little insight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me back this up. Let's look at her home 4th house cusp line. Okay, and there it is, the Virgo at 28 with the moon right there. Okay. And the node, look at this. This is loaded. Woo! That is loaded. Okay, so because she has the south node and the moon conjunct, holy crap history.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Holy crap. And also the 4th house cusp line, which is at 28, more moon energy.
Right.
The past, soul energy, ancestry, like this is deep with this little one.
Mm-hmm.
This is really deep stuff. Normally you wouldn't think people are talking deep. We're talking Virgo. Why is it deep? The south node is the soul energy, and it is the soul's history and the past. It's conjunct the moon, which is the past, which is the history. The 4th house cusp line at 28.
Wow.
4th house cusp line is the moon. The 4th house, I'm going to repeat that. 4th house cusp line, regardless of the degrees, is the moon. So is 28 degrees.
Right.
So when you want to talk about a shitload of moon energy, this child has it. So
wow.
The south node in the past and the Virgo knowledge, the Virgo knowledge, the tasks, the chores, the organizing, the cleaning, the hygiene, but also domestic pets. We already talked about spending time in nature.
Right.
So there might be like profound connection with domestic pets. There can be a profound connection. But what about the connection with her own mom? Oh my God, look at this. Yeah, I would say so. The communication, because it's the south node, but also at the 29 degree. And because I know some of your family's history, this is really fascinating to me. The moon at 29. That's just crazy to me. And having the Neptune at 29. Having Aquarius, 9th house cusp line at 29.
I see that. Right.
Yeah, this is group energy, friends, different independence, some freedom, but it's a critical degree too. But remember, 29, yeah, the millionaire degree.
Right.
Like, there's just a lot of really interesting things that she has.
Yes. It's exciting.
Black Moon Lilith, 29 degrees in Libra in the 4th house.
Yeah, what is
Moon,
that?
29 degrees. Well, the black moon can be like these shadow side, some things about our personality that we're not aware of.
Right.
And usually takes a little bit of time to become aware of those things about our personality that we kind of don't want to own. And because it's in Libra, we're thinking Venus. So there might be some control factors in there.
Well, Christian will help her out with her shadow side.
Yeah, because it's in the 4th house, control factors with family. But for you, do
Oh,
you see the history here with this? Because Black Moon Lilith is a moon thing.
right.
So family, the control. Do you
Right.
see?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Right?
I've lived it and I'm out of it. Yes.
But do you see what I'm saying? To some you're out of it, but to some degree, there's a piece of that here with her. Wow.
Yes.
Even her 5th house cusp line is at the 4 degrees in Scorpio, shared values. Lots of moon energy with this little one. Holy moly. All right. So desire energy. Her Venus is up there at 7 in Aries, and it's a beautiful trine to her 2nd house cusp line. It's a strong trine.
Well, yay. Something good.
Well, it is good. It's very fiery. It's
Well,
very fiery.
the third one.
I kind of feel like she's probably going to fit right in.
Yeah. Yes. And her sister lovely. She does that. She's very lucky to have lovely older sisters. They're very sweet. Even though they're 5 and 3, they are very funny and very sweet and smart. I mean, they're, even though I'm their grandmother, but they're nice. They're nice little girls.
Well, look what she said. She did mention the word funny for siblings, didn't she? And they have 29 degrees of Leo on the 3rd house cusp line of siblings.
Yes. Yeah. They were
Fun, funny.
Yes.
I imagine you said they're sweet, they're smart. Her Mercury's up there at 9 degrees, so there can be a little bit of wisdom associated with that, but really a lot of talking and very social energy.
Like it.
For her as well, because the Mercury at 9 degrees, communication.
Oh, this is about.
Well, for her as well, because Mercury is also siblings. It's both.
Okay.
But it's her mind. It's how she thinks and talks and communicates. An assertive communicator, of course. But at 9 degrees, this one might end up being a little preachy. And what I mean by that, other than how it sounded, of course, that one.
Good.
But because there's a lot of confidence. There's a lot of confidence. The Venus matters. The Venus is trining her 2nd house cusp line. Well, Venus rules the 2nd house, right? And she's got the courageous lion right there. And this would be with domestic matters for sure, but a pets comes up again, 6 degrees. But this is nice for the days when when she's an adult and has to be out there getting a job. Like, this is kind of a nice setup for her to have. She actually has a nice trine.
All the jobs she starts. Right.
She's got a nice little trine. Nice little fire trine going through there. She has success at 8 degrees. So that creates this strong trine.
Scorpio.
With her Venus,
Mm-hmm.
her 2nd house cusp line, her 10th house of career, because Venus is in the 10th house.
Right.
And speaking of that, Jupiter is her greater benefic, right? Because you see her sun is up above. And so the Jupiter energy for her, it just crossed into her 12th house because of that birth time.
Got it.
So again, the Jupiter energy, the Pisces, the Neptune energy is really strong for her because it's Jupiter in her 12th. Now, when someone has Gemini in their 12th, it's creative writing.
Okay. What I thought.
Yeah. It is definitely creative writing, which I love because you like to write too. So you and this little one might have,
I do.
some common stuff here that you can kind of bond over.
Yes.
And her 12th house cusp line, of course, is at 12 degrees, the Pisces degree. So really creative. And it's at the Aries degree, which means she might start a lot of things in terms of writing, but again, might have a hard time finishing them.
I'll finish it for her.
Well, that's where collaboration comes in, right?
Right.
She said,
I'll
I'll
find
finish them for her. You better not, damn it. You better just lead by example and show her. I start, I'm
I know.
finishing,
You
and
did.
look at the rewards. It's just
Well,
a
the
matter
first
of
my
starting something.
father, yeah. I've never not finished anything.
All the Capricorn in your chart, I'm not surprised. Give me a break.
Huh?
Holy crap. But she does have a beautiful trine. There's water energy, more creative stuff. She's got a lot like at 14 here in Cancer. We've got Treasure Trove, we've got Sultan's Victory, 14 degrees. So they're in water in her 12th, again, home and family. This also kind of speaks to home being far away, or home because it's in the 12th house, Cancer energy in the 12th.
Interesting.
Possibly, when we think about going on vacation and there might be a second home or something, right? But even when she becomes an adult, the possibility of feeling like home might be, oh, I don't know, somewhere other than, maybe on a different continent, possibly.
Oh, interesting.
Well, it's just that her feelings and her emotions connecting with that 12th house. 12th house is foreign lands, foreign languages. And this is my emotional security when we talk about Cancer energy. Now, this can also just be satisfied by traveling as well. You follow?
Yes, I follow.
Yeah. It kind of reemphasizes a lot of this because she's got a lot of trine energy at the 13, 14 degrees. And oddly enough, like visiting, like wherever her ancestors have come from and visiting them, or even if they're not there, but where did my ancestors come from? She's got the point of ancestors at 13 at the Aries degree of taking action.
Right.
So another strong water trine for her.
Interesting.
Yeah, another strong water trine
Thank you.
that leads up.
Anybody else waiting? This is, unless you've done your homework and there's something else you wanted to tell me, because I don't want to keep anybody. You're so good to me. Thank you so much.
Well, you're so good to me. You give the channel so much money all the time. Even when you're not here, you're sending money. And I'm always like, who is this from? I'm like, she wasn't even at the live tonight. She's not even here.
I think that it has always been well earned, whether you're helping others and our little starlings in the group. It's all well earned, for heaven's
Well, I
sake.
appreciate that.
Yes.
I appreciate that. It's very encouraging for me.
Yes.
Because God knows the damn channel's videos
Well,
are so hit and miss. It's insane. 1 minute it's 250 views. The next minute it's just so insane. And it's like, God, this stuff
terrible. I watch it on my TV, so I can't. I'm not like.
Oh no, I'm just saying in general that to hear what you're saying is encouraging. It gives me encouragement because if I have to base my work based upon,
Right.
the way the shit works with YouTube, it can be quite discouraging is my point. You should know that she has Pluto in her 7th house, by the way.
She has what? Pluto.
Pluto in her 7th house.
Okay. What does that mean?
Well, Pluto's change. It's change and transformative. So what's going to happen is when she's older, she's going to seek out relationships that are intense, that are different, that are unique, that are powerful, that are liberating, that liberate because of deep changes.
Yes.
And that can be challenging to find a partner who wants to go through that kind of stuff. So some people end up changing a lot so that they can experience, meaning they might end up getting different partners, like this didn't work out, so they can experience these deep changes that their 7th house needs. These people don't mince words. Right? They don't want to have small talk. It's about deeply meaningful stuff. Altruistic,
Yes.
Serving the group energy going to be super important, and for that to be in a partner as well.
And I feel like all this, even though she was born yesterday, it's like it's so current. I mean, I can really see how the world's actually moving towards all of this. So it's like,
Yeah.
but and whatever, in 19 years, has a relationship or whatever it is, it's almost on point of like more community, not like our 1950s dating, one person, then you get married. It's going to be so different. And I think it makes sense. This is very future,
Well, absolutely is. Absolutely is.
you
This is
know?
the astrology she was born under.
Yes. And it makes
You know,
sense.
that's just what it is. And
And she's one of the billion that are like that. And they're going to
yeah,
all act
yeah.
under that.
Yes, technology,
Yeah.
cutting edge, just revolutionary type of energy, but
Yeah.
deep, powerful changes that are to help humanity at the end of
And
the day.
scared. I know.
One of the things she has going for her,
Hmm.
in addition to some of the other beautiful things I've talked about, is with this deep change in that seventh house of partnerships, she does have the Capricorn energy here. And so that can really help to balance and stabilize this change stuff,
Some
as
stuff.
opposed to being all nilly-willy and throwing another whatever out the window, because Capricorn is like, it can be restrictive, and it can be Saturn, right? So Saturn says, I can slow things down. It might take a long time to find a partner, right? But once I do, Saturn's about the long haul,
Right.
the
Right.
long term.
And
So it doesn't make us so, well, I'm just going to dump and get rid of type of thing,
Right.
because
Right.
Pluto is about making those deep emotional bonds, even
Right.
though it's in a very detached Aquarius sign.
Yes.
So these are some very interesting energies that are
That's
basically,
healthy. It's going to be actually a healthy version, is what I think.
well, of course, you better think that. This is your God. This is your
But
godchild.
I don't get for it, but I can sense that it makes sense that detachment, instead of getting people are going to be less upset about what other people do. Everyone's going to be a lot happier by the time they start dating. The world's going to be a better place in a way.
Well, the teaching is that, I don't know how to pronounce it, but I know Lou S. had it written down. A few other people have too. I can't remember what they're calling it, but
What?
it talks about the end of the worst of humanity's personality, basically.
Yeah,
Like we're dealing with all the vices, the worst vices of humanity right now. And supposedly that change is supposed to occur in 2025. Some are saying we're in the change right now,
I think I can see it.
where better things are coming, and the people who are abusing their power, the people who are, all the insane stuff that's going on, especially within our government. I mean, of course, you can see the change there, right? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Major changes, just left and right, whiplash type of energy.
Yeah.
But the desire for control and power, and the abuses of that by those who have it,
Right. It's crumbling.
that this is us witnessing the last, we're holding on for dear life because we know it's ending type of thing.
Right.
So we'll see. We'll
Right.
see. I've seen multiple thoughts on it that we're not there yet. And it's not this year. And then others say, but it is this year and it's right now. And I'm like, okay, only time will tell. To me, the Neptune in Aries at 0 degrees, even though it does retrograde out, to me, that speaks to a new beginning with who we are and how we appear and how we act when Neptune goes into Aries.
I think so. And I think, and when that happens,
'Cause it dissolves the ego.
yes, amen to that. I mean, I just think that there's going to be more coming together. People really are going to be like, there's going to be some terrible things happening, so to speak, maybe earthquakes or whatever, and FEMA can't step in, or Red Cross can't handle it. People
FEMA.
are going to help people.
Didn't you hear FEMA's been disbanded? Like, they tore that shit apart.
Yeah.
This new dude in charge is like, we don't need no stinking FEMAs.
Exactly.
Okay.
be more like neighbor helps neighbor. It's really going to be basic. That's going to help bring everybody together. It's not going to be complicated. It's not complicated.
So you're saying Mother Nature's going to come down and be like, listen, get your shit together. This is how this works.
Well, that's going to happen. It's gonna fall apart. We're going to have,
What's going to happen is going to happen.
yeah, the neighborness is going to rise like cream to the top. It is.
Well, we shall
know,
see what happens. Time will tell.
Yes. All right, everybody else, I could talk to you all night.
Yeah, no problem. I know. We'll have to. Yeah, I know. It's been a while since you've been here. We just
I
gabbed.
know. Well,
But
I've been
you
quiet.
always send money, so that's okay. You get the time. That's how it works.
God bless you. More to you. Stay safe and love
Yep,
to
you
everybody.
too.
I'm
Yep,
leaving.
and congratulations.
Thank you. Mwah.
Bye, Gibson.
Bye.
Okay. Let me see. Let me get that little one's chart over there. Close. And let me go find out who's next. Oh, I should have asked her. I'll send her the chart. I was going to say I should have asked her, but she'll probably want it. All right, so we got to find out who's in order here. Let me see who comes after. So I'm thinking MS. Is MS still here? MS might have left already. MS, are you here? I don't see MS in the chat anywhere, right? Yeah. All right, so if MS left, then we go to the next name in the queue. What do we got here? Let's see this. All right, Christy, Stacy, Irish Eyes. We did that. Gibson, we did that. MS, loose passing. All right, do we have a new list? All right, then maybe we go to MS says my first name is Sean. MS, I don't think you're here. No, Sean showed up in the green room. Is Venmo. MS is here. Oh, okay, good. Thank you for chiming in because it looks like you sent some money. Although it doesn't, I'm not getting any name compared to the names you gave me. So this is probably not you then. Unless you can tell me your name, or at least the name that it says here, which I would kind of need to know. Yeah, I see he's here. Okay, so then if you did, what was the name? Because there's other people here. And, you know, everybody's got a different name that doesn't match the name of the chat. So, but I'm pretty sure you know what your Venmo name is. All right, gotcha. Okay, let's get you in here. Are you coming on? All right, copy. Let's get this in here. Okay, Sean, here's your link. If you want the link, if you don't want the link, I'll drop the link for you because you are next in line. And we will get your chart up here. Let me create your chart. How about that? Yeah. Let me get your birth digits here. Man, I didn't put my conditioner on my hair. So Sean, I'm not like, did you drop your birth digits here somewhere? Oh, we got a kitty cat at the door. Yeah. Where's your birth digits? Okay, well, don't worry about that. But I don't see your birth digits in the email. How weird is that? Thank you, Gibson. You're always so generous. I appreciate it. Irish Eyes. No, Shauna, you didn't email me any birth digits. Okay, well, that's a little backwards. So I got to go answer the door for this kitty cat. So hold on one There she is. Okay, let me have my phone real quick, Taffy, so I can see if we have some birth digits, because the chat, it's really hard to get that information. Okay, we have some information. Oh, Lou S has information here too. What's going on? These are the digits posted by, oh, thank you. Okay, great. That helps, Lou. I appreciate that. What do you think, Taffy? I think I saw your mom in this chat. Am I seeing things? There it is. Taffy, your mom says that she will be home by midnight. Did you see that? You're number 10. That's hilarious. Thank you for staying on the ball, Stacy. Yeah. Yeah, you've seen it. Well, every now and then you might have seen her pop in the room while I'm live. Yeah, her and the hubby are on vacation. Yeah, you can see her. Taffy, Mom's saying hello to you. Yeah, Mom's saying hello. Yeah. No storms tonight, huh? Okay, I got to get my fingers moving. I got to. Oh, we got Sean. We got Sean in here. All right, great. Let's see if it works. All right, let's get that going here. Let's get Sean up here and see what's up. All right, Sean, it says you're going to need to connect your microphone before we can add you to the stream. All right, so you do what you got to do, and I'll get your chart created. Taffy, entertain them while I do this, all right? Hey. She's like, I got cleaning to do. Okay, let's get Sean's chart created real quick here. So for Sean, I created his chart last week. Thank you for telling me that. Was it under Sean? Because God knows I've been creating charts tonight that I didn't need to create. Get your bells on, Taffy. Your mama's on the way. Okay, so wow. Are you eating my hair? Hello? That's my hair. You cannot eat it. Let's go see if the name was under MS. Is your sister outside that door? She might be. We might have a cat party. All right. I'm getting close. You know, I'm always on a wild goose chase, and I have to kind of need to. I don't have anything under MS. So let's go look for S. See, like I said, I'm kind of on a wild goose chase, so I'm going to go look for the S. Okay, do we have a Sean? Ooh, are we getting a Sean in here? Sean. No. Again, I'm on a wild goose chase. Chances are a chart was created, but not in the name in which you have given me. So, Stacy said, I can't remember if Sean, MS, or McClintock. Okay, so maybe McClintock. Let's try that one. Yeah. Oh, let's see. Michelangelo, that isn't going to work. What do you think, Taffy? We got to go to the MCs. God, there's so many M's. I think we're out of luck. There is no MC. Okay, nothing under McClintock. Okay, so I sent my digits. The app won't let me activate my mic. Don't worry about all that. So, Stacy and Lou, MS is digits. These are the ones you guys have here. So I'm just going to create this chart. I swear to God, it doesn't matter what is said. It just doesn't ever make a difference. Let's get this party going already. Jeez. All right, we got a September. See, this sounds familiar though. September 1st, 1970. This sounds familiar. So I must. Everyone's got like, I don't know how many aliases. That's the goddamn problem. We're doing business online and everybody, which I understand not wanting to use your real name, but try to only have one fake name, okay? That's the secret, or two at the most. So if I just looked at your chart last week or whenever it was, what am I checking out? Oh my God, what is my phone doing? What are we looking at? September 1st, 1970. 2:51 p.m. What? It's like making all these noises. Like, what am I doing wrong? What was that? Yeah, St. Louis, Missouri. Okay. See, that's the problem too. I got people who have multiple charts in my system, and I just starting to get way too many names. It takes forever to scroll down and find somebody. That's okay. What we'll end up having to do is having to have it all organized by email before I even begin a live stream. That way we already know ahead of time the order, because there's no other way to do it. And it'll help me from going insane. Okay. So MS, I hope that you heard what I asked and that you have answered in the chat. Is there a response from MS? I wanted to ask a question. Well, then put it in the chat. Can you ask the question in the chat? The mic doesn't work, so you have to ask the question in the chat. I mean, I don't know what other way. I don't have like a, oh, okay, you're picking up the mic again. Let's check this out. Let's see if you're here.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Testing.
Holy crap, you're here.
Oh, wow. I can't believe it.
And you're loud and clear.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, it sounds good. It worked. I'm happy for you. I'm happy this worked. My God, all the work, this damn thing better have worked by now. I'm going to throw it out
thank
the
you
window.
for your patience.
All right, so what are we looking at?
So last week I wanted to ask you about
Oh, wait, get back into your telephone. Get back in. I can't hear you now. Get closer.
Uh-oh. Hang on a second. Hang on.
There you go. The hang on a second was perfect.
Oh, okay. I see. When I guess when I go out of the app, you can't hear me, strangely. So I was going to ask you last week about the full moon eclipse was kind of on my Pluto and Mercury. It was also trying Uranus there with the in Taurus. And then I was going to ask you maybe about the Chiron in my Aries. That's right on the Mercury retrograde in the 4th.
Okay.
I've been having housing issues, and I'm like, I'm actually suing my landlord. And
yeah,
then,
your 9 degrees Chiron that's where that Mercury. Yeah, that's the Mercury retrograde point right there.
Yeah.
Damn. And your 4th house cusp is at 8. Okay, well, I want you to see something here. You have Jupiter. There's a Jupiter and Pluto midpoint right on your 4th house cusp line. So that means lots of change on your 4th house.
Yeah, I've been anticipating that.
Yeah, because there's that midpoint. And the midpoint's at 8:30. The midpoint's at 8 degrees 31 minutes. And your 4th house cusp is 8 degrees 49 minutes. So until that midpoint moves off, the change, Pluto, the change, the intense changes, well, they're going to happen. So the thoughts about the future and your location and your physical body is part of this, because you have Aries there. And unfortunately, not specifically for you, but when we have Chiron and Aries, it feels like a threat to my very existence. It feels as though like almost like, do I not even have a right to exist? That's the Chiron and Aries wound. There's something there. And so, coming in with this, it brings in a wound, not just from childhood, but from soul memory. You follow?
I feel it. Yeah, I feel it.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. People with the Chiron and the Aries, yeah, they feel it.
I've done about 10 years of therapy over all of it.
Okay,
I'm
because
still working on it.
yeah, well, that's good though, because with all the fire in the 8th of the deep psychology and therapy and the healing, and the fire in the 4th, that makes sense. And the 4th is the emotions, and with the fire there, man, then when that shit gets amped up, it's amped up.
Indeed.
So, let's see here. Let me kind of push some stuff forward, because we're all in flux until Venus and Mercury get beyond the 10 degrees of Aries.
Yeah, what I've been hearing is it's going to kind of clear up in April and May, and eventually in June, the summer, when we get that sweet sort of Jupiter in Cancer and that kind of thing. But it's definitely tense these days. I've got a hearing next Friday. I'm suing my landlord, actually, and so.
Did they lose your rent or some shit?
No, they didn't supply gas to my apartment for like 6 months, and
shit.
Yeah, and they kept stringing me along, and then after I filed a lawsuit against them, they fixed it in like 2 weeks. But now they're trying to kick me out, and I've been paying rent the whole time, and it's a whole mess.
Oh God, yeah, I can't wait till this housing crap gets taken care of in this country.
It's a real mess. And then I live in Tucson, Arizona, and I mean, it's crazy. The rents have just exploded.
Oh yeah, Arizona, hell yeah.
I mean, they've literally doubled since the pandemic.
Yeah,
just in the last few years.
Yeah. I heard a lady talking who's in Florida, and she's like, "I'm so ready to get out of here," and they were actually talking about rent prices, and she was saying that for a single, she's got like a little 1-bedroom apartment or something, and she's like, I pay $1,600 a month.
Yep.
It's so crazy. She's like, I need out of here. It's like, holy crap. So
that's where it's going now. Like trying to find like a 1-bedroom apartment for less than $1,200 is difficult.
Yeah. It's like they're holding people in a barrel over the waterfall, and you're just screwed.
Yeah, it's wild. It's really, really wild.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll be in better times. But for right now, in your chart, the Venus and the Mercury, what will be interesting is Mercury will be way ahead of Venus. It'll be in your 5th house. And Mercury is my neighborhood. It is networking and communications. And you have a Juno at 21 degrees connected to your Saturn, which is at 22 in Taurus energy. So when Mercury gets near there, we have Venus who, let me back this up a week or two. Yeah, Venus is a big deal because she just gets past the 10 degrees. She's like at 12 degrees, which means she's past your Chiron. She's now on your Eris, and your Eris is about anger. Just so you know.
Oh, yeah.
But Venus will be there. Venus will touch on her, and Eris is pissed because no one listens to her. You know, she doesn't have a seat at the table. Like it's like being, you know, you're given a seat at the kids' table and nobody, you know, you know what I'm saying? No one cares about what you have to say. They don't even acknowledge that you're there, but you're an adult and you know. So,
I'm certainly the black sheep, scapegoat of the family, and that's been a long time issue.
well, and then probably some anger with that.
Yeah.
That's a possibility. And then you also have Sedna here at 2 degrees. So it comes down to a deep wound from the past. It is feminine energy. Venus and Taurus in the 4th house, but it's a really ancient wound. And it comes down to self-worth at the end of the day. It kind of ends up being that. So I was trying to talk about Mercury. I got sidetracked a little bit here. Here's Mercury at 13. It just crosses over. It was traveling like with a Jupiter and a Neptune energy. And at this time now, Jupiter and Pluto, that midpoint I talked about, they're no longer on your Chiron or on your 4th cusp line or even on your Eris. They've passed her. They're now at 14, and here comes Venus to join along. Now, in your chart, your greater benefic energy is going to be with Jupiter. Like that's when Jupiter gets triggered or anything that Jupiter rules, that's kind of like your protection, your bubble, right? What I love for you is that you have a North Node at 2 degrees in Pisces with Pallas Athena at 4. Your Jupiter trines this. That's a really nice trine, and that Jupiter trines your 3rd house cusp line. So what does this mean? This means that when Jupiter goes into Cancer energy, it's going to trigger your Jupiter. And it triggers your natal Jupiter, which in turn triggers your North Node, your 3rd house cusp line. And of course, Jupiter is lawyer energy.
Interesting. I've got that
It is
Mercury
interesting. I'm
trine.
getting excited. I'm like,
I've got the Mercury trine Saturn too in my natal. And that's kind of what I read about that was like star lawyer aspect. It's interesting because I've been in propria persona, attorney in fact, in a family court case for 8 years. I've been representing myself, and I've really learned a lot. And I'm representing myself in this civil suit against my landlord.
holy crap! Are you really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I've learned a lot about the law in the last 8 years. I mean,
Wow. Well,
I
look at
know
all the Virgo in the 9th house. No wonder.
I probably should have gone to law school.
Wow. I mean, you've got Virgo up there. You even got a little bit of the Virgo in the 8th, which is great. But you can connect the details with the big picture. And the speaking would be a big deal, and the ability to communicate clearly and logically. And wow. Yeah, that makes sense.
What about this Jupiter squaring the Pluto transit, the current Pluto transit in Aquarius? That seems pretty challenging.
Well, the only challenge will be for if you have something at those matching degrees.
Well, I've got the Jupiter in Scorpio that's squaring the Pluto transit in Aquarius.
But it's already okay. So
Already
this
passed.
Pluto, I'm already showing. I'm like in May, and it's going to do a retrograde, right? So it retrogrades back.
Mm-hmm.
You lived through the first one because it already squared it. This isn't the first time, right? It already had a square. So what happened when this Pluto was at the 2 degrees?
You know, I don't know exactly when that was. I would say it is in the fall, right?
Let's go back a little bit.
I did get a judge to recuse out of the family court case. She was horrible. I actually appealed her ruling, and it's a long story and it's a big mess. But I got a new commission. I got a new judge on my case and on my family court case, and so I'm hoping there's going to be a sea change there.
All right. So this would have been in February.
You've got February 25 there. So that's coming back up is what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is we have to go back in time to
Mhm.
February of 2025, not that long ago.
Oh, okay. Not that
What
long.
occurred then? Because that's when this Pluto was squaring exactly your Jupiter.
Ah,
And you had Sedna at the opposite side in a T square, Sedna at 2 degrees in Taurus, Pluto at 2 degrees in Aquarius, Jupiter at 2 degrees. So there definitely would have been an event of some sort over home and values.
hmm.
Friends might have been part of this picture as well because it's in the 11th house. It is Jupiter energy, whether it was travel or foreign friends or, researching even because it's Scorpio energy, which is the super detective. And then Pluto. You don't have anything in your second house where this Pluto is aspecting at 2 degrees, though. You follow?
Yeah.
So it's affecting the 11th house and your fourth. Am I reading that right? Yeah, your fourth house.
Hmm.
Now, values, self-worth, and
Mhm.
shared values. When was the landlord thing with the no gas and when did you file suit?
I filed suit in December, and so there's been pleadings going back and forth, basically. And I did have a hearing in family court about 10 days before that exact square.
In
With the
February?
with the new judge.
Okay, because the fourth house is here, right? Sedna is here
Mhm.
in the fourth house, right here, the 2 degrees. And so she got triggered.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, it's wild because my ex brings up all my stuff with my mom, and I've had an estranged
oh,
relationship with my mom my whole life.
oh Lord.
Yeah, so it's been really interesting, to be kind of dealing with this stuff with my ex and how it relates to my mom. And
Oh yeah, yeah. Females. It's
yeah,
gonna be a link to females. And I have to take something back. I said you don't have anything in Aquarius at 2 degrees in your
mm,
second house. You do.
mm.
This chart doesn't show it because for whatever reason, this software doesn't show vertex at both ends.
Oh, it's
But
got
you
this.
have vertex in Leo at 2 degrees
That's right.
and the anti-vertex at 2 degrees. You
I don't know
see?
much about Vertex.
Well, it's more about it's fate. Fate
Ah,
steps in. Whether you meet somebody or an event happens, it's fated energy. Some people may not believe in fate, but it's the idea that there are circumstances that you kind of, like the universe just kind of steps in. You know how you kind of have like those synchronistic events, whether they're good or bad?
well, it's the eighth house too. I met someone back in November, and then but
Yes.
I recently broke up with them just last week, actually, because again it was bringing up all these self-worth issues.
Gotcha.
And 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 I, I i feel good about it because it's I'm kind of breaking that cycle of getting involved with relationships that with people that are emotionally unavailable type thing,
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
because
that's what
that
Pluto's doing. That's what this Pluto's doing. And because it's pulling in by having conversations like Jupiter's at the table, Pluto's at the table, Sedna's at the table, and the vertex points are sitting at the table. So we can meet somebody, the vertex, both ends, something begins and something ends. Someone comes into my life, then somebody leaves my life. One door closes, 2 doors open. That's the vertex point.
interesting.
You're right. Desires, values, money, shared values, shared desires, shared assets. The 8th house, deeply bonded energy. People your vertex point, people you probably have soul memory, soul history with.
Certainly karmic energy there for sure.
Yeah. 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 And am I reading this right? You have a Mars at 29 in Leo? Holy
Yeah, and
crap.
it's also conjunct Lilith
Yeah,
too.
I see it.
Yeah, that's
I
crazy,
see
right?
this shit. Oh my God. Well, that has really got no wonder because that adds a whole nother layer of intense intense vulnerabilities from the past.
And then it squares my Neptune too
I
in
see that.
Scorpio at the last degrees there.
So this Neptune has been actually, I know it's at 28 and I know that's family. So that can't help, right? That's mom energy because it's at 28.
Mm-hmm.
But Neptune can also help tame and mellow down this Mars energy. The
It's
planet
well.
Neptune, Mars surrenders to Neptune.
Mm.
I know you have a really powerful Mars. What I'm saying is, I would think that this might be kind of good, actually, that this Neptune is here.
I've definitely had a lot of powerful relationships with women.
I'm
And
sure.
and some of my old girlfriends they're still some of my best friends.
That's good.
But I've also had some toxic relationships as well, that kind of parallel that mother wound, if you will.
Yep, because what happens is when we have so much in our chart that carries over like a lot of intense energy, we go through life almost as like it's almost like a test to see, are you still carrying like that same vibration? Are you still drawing those same types of people to you? And if so, do you know how to handle these relationships? Do you know when, okay, that's toxic, walk away, like you kind of already said. And so until we work through that energy all the way, there can be these enticing opportunities. And the difference is, do we see it from go, or do we have to kind of dive in to realize we're in it? And we're like, oh, damn, I probably shouldn't have done that. The Pandora box energy comes out, like, damn, why did I do that?
Yeah. Well, it takes time to get to know somebody too.
Hell yeah.
It's hard to see all the red flags right up front,
I totally agree. And you know what? You have Pandora at 14 in Virgo. Okay. Well, this just kind of speaks more to a lot of the stuff you've already shared with us. 14 degrees brings up Venus energy, and that's Pandora. So this is a piece of information that for people that are friends of yours, especially females, it might be kind of good to utilize them and to run things across them because they're exes, they're friends. And because Pandora at 14 means it's the can of worms with Venus energy, especially domestic.
I've definitely had a lot of clients that, are women. I do photography and some other creative type services that have been very fruitful through women that have been, throwing me gigs here and there kind of thing. So that's interesting.
Yeah. Well, you have Venus, your natal Venus is in Libra. That's a strong Venus, and it's at 25, which means there's always these new beginnings. There's always these new relationships. It wants to start. It's active. And Venus, Libra energy can be the business partnerships. And it's in your 10th house, profession, career. It's some strong energy. Because it's a strong Venus. But again, you've got Libra at the midheaven, and Uranus is right there at 7 degrees. You have a really strong chart. I mean, there's some things you have like, it's intense, but at the same time, there's there's an authoritative tone in a way because of that Uranus up there. And then having the Aquarius in the second house too. Your sun. I mean, there's just I think that vertex, the anti-vertex at 2 degrees, both in Leo and Aquarius, the 2 degrees is Venus.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm hoping this Pluto second house transit brings home the money. That's all I'm saying.
Well, the last time it was more of a trigger. What will it be this time? Well, it's Pluto. It's your 4th house and it's your 11th house. You follow? Now, it could trigger the vertex points, of course,
Mm-hmm.
Um, so if I go to like right now, because your vertex are 221 to be exact, because the minutes matter with Pluto. And yeah, you have to wait for this Pluto to retrograde all the way back
Mm-hmm.
to the 221. Well, we'll say 230 for you.
Well, eventually, I mean, I guess it'll be 15 years from now. I'll get that Venus trine to Pluto. Something to look forward to.
Yeah, something to look forward to. Well, before this, yeah, it's going to be July. In July, this Pluto is like at 248 retrograding.
Uh-huh.
So it's going to be a little bit of time. But in the meantime, you're going to have Saturn, Neptune still sitting in your third. And the bigger thing too is for everybody, Uranus entering Gemini energy.
Mm-hmm.
Uranus entering Gemini, and then yeah, we've got Jupiter already at 8 degrees here. So again, I'm just going to go back to the date. I don't know if I gave you the date on that. It'll be Jupiter when it gets to around that 2-degree mark. It'll probably be a little bit before it. So this is like June.
Mm-hmm.
Because it'll be at 0 and then 1 degrees. It triggers your Jupiter. Remember, your Jupiter, and then it triggers your third house cusp line, your north node, your Palsatine. Like, that's huge. That's a lot of things connecting. And when you want to find out if something's going to show up in your chart, that's what you want to look for. Not just one thing connecting. You need to be able to be like, oh, look, it's connecting. It's all over. And then it's like, okay, something's happening. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be wild. I mean, this whole Saturn Neptune transit in Pisces opposing my 9th house in Virgo.
It's a nightmare, isn't it?
Oh my God, it's just been wild. And what's going to be interesting too is the Saturn Neptune conjunction is going to oppose my Uranus too from that 10th, 4th house.
Yeah. Yeah.
I used to work with this astrologer named Paul Reeder. God bless his soul. He passed many years ago, but he said it's not all good. He said it's mostly good.
He said it's not all good. And what?
It's mostly good.
Oh, there you go. That's the way to look at it.
That's astrology, right?
The teaching with that Uranus energy is they tell you, well, do you like to surf?
I love to surf, actually.
Well, then you'll be fine.
Okay. All
Seriously,
right.
that's the teaching. If you enjoy surfing, if you enjoy the constant having to fluctuate and to respond to the difference, to the changes, when you're on that board, then that's Uranus energy.
Well, hopefully I'll be living somewhere where I can surf.
Well, I'm hoping when the Jupiter goes into Cancer and triggers that Jupiter up there and triggers the nice Pisces energy down here on your third house cusp line, that if nothing else, you're making beneficial contacts. But remember, your Palsatine at 4 degrees conjunct your north node. 4 degrees is home and family. It's a beautiful trine. So hopefully something beneficial will come through.
That's
you
what I'm
and
ready
so
for.
many people.
I need that home. I need that solid base, really. That's the thing I've been dreaming about, working towards.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Chiron right there. It's all written. It makes a lot of sense. There's a lot tied into this for you.
Well, hey, I really appreciate it. Thank you
Yep.
so much. You've given me a lot of insight, and
Good.
long-time listener, first-time caller. Well, first and a half-time caller.
All right. Well, thank you for sticking with it. I know it was rocky at the beginning. And the last time you were here, do you remember what name I had you under?
Yeah, I don't remember actually. I'm so
all right.
sorry.
I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, I know. I'm one of those people. I've got pseudonyms all over the place.
That's okay. That's okay. One night we had somebody who had like 6 different names they kept giving me. And I'm like, oh, this is not even happening to me. I'm sitting here looking for all these different names in the chart. I was ready to I don't know what. I'm like, this is there's a camera watching me go through this, right? Like someone thinks this shit's funny. All right. I'm glad I could help.
All right. Sweet dreams. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. You're welcome. Bye-bye. Okay. Okay, now this software is doing some weird shit. Okay, we're just going to push it to the back and pretend, let it go do its thing. Oh my God. What in the hell? Okay. Where are we at? Oh, what is that noise? All right. So I'm lost. I'm not sure who is next. I see Haffers is here. What's going on, Haffers? So okay, here we go. Let's see. Oh, that's thinking kind of okay. I'm moving along. I really don't know. Who was after MS? Does anybody know? Let me scroll down to the bottom of this chat here. That might work. Daphne, are you here? Daphne is next. Daphne? Is Daphne up? Is Daphne here? It's been a minute since I've seen Daphne. Amy Brown says, I'm so angry right now about what is happening. What is happening? The delays? Are you talking about all the other crazy shit in the world? Well, really just you. Well, I'm just saying. My little's birthday is tomorrow. Oh, happy birthday, little. Kay the Taurus. Yeah, who is next? I know Kay's been waiting. Kay's been in the green room, but we got to go in order. So after Daphne is Kay the Taurus. Okay, so if Daphne doesn't answer, then we're going to Kay. Kay, I don't recognize your name. I know you've been in the green room waiting, but do I have your birth digits? That's step number 1, to make sure I have your birth digits. Did you send me an email? If you want me to spend time on your chart, you send a Venmo, you send a Venmo and Cash App. I was about to say PayPal. Let's see here. Let's go to the email and see what we got. Okay, so Kay. Okay, well, Kay, here's the deal. I think I see an email from you. You have a birth date. You do not have a time, which means you're going to have a chart that I cannot. I can't do transits. I can't talk to you about the future. At least not with any degree of accuracy. So I can draw you up a chart that is known as a noon hour chart. And we can go that route. So let me get this chart in here and let's see. Man, this software is just stressing me. It won't let me. I'm going to have to contact them. It did it last week, but I thought, actually did the last 2 weeks. And I thought, well, my chart's going through some crazy shit. I expected this, but it's still doing this crazy shit. Okay, so let's get Kay the Taurus in here. So if I put your chart under that name, that means if you come back, you have to use this name. Because I don't really like being on these treasure hunts for charts. If it was just me sitting here by myself, I wouldn't care. But if there's people waiting and I still have yet, yeah, it's just like, geez. All right, so 12 o'clock, a noon hour chart, and we have Spanish Town. Interesting. Oh, Jamaica. Okay, we got a kitty cat in the room. Let's see which one it is. St. Catherine, Jamaica. Oh. Oh, I think we got Zoe in here. We do. We got Zoe. I know these cats are like, what the hell is going on? Let's see if we take that off of there. What's going on, little girl? Spanish town was not found. God, am I spelling this right? Spanish town. I didn't put an E or anything like that. Okay. Did I spell Jamaica right? Jamaica. Jamaica. St. Catherine. Let's try this, Zoe. Oh, I think we're going to get it. It's not telling me no. That's a good sign. All right, Kay, let's get you on here. You've been waiting. What's going on? What's going on? Did you hear that your mom's on her way? All right. Hey, Kay, how are you doing?
Hanging in there.
Oh, awesome. I can hear you. Wow, awesome. Fantastic. You waited.
Yes, I did.
Okay, so you don't have a birth time.
I asked my mom. She said she do not recall. She said in the afternoon. So
Oh,
that's
well,
it.
something close to it. She said the afternoon.
Something about in the afternoon.
So,
She had me when she was 14, 15. So according to her, she
right,
was
I understand.
stressed.
No, I totally understand.
Yes.
Right. You're not like, can someone tell me what time it is? I
Yeah,
get it.
I wish.
I get it. Well, then maybe this chart won't be so far off for you.
Oh,
I mean, I have it placed at noon
okay.
because that's just what you do when someone doesn't have their time.
Yes.
So, let me see if it'll let me freeze your chart a little bit here. If it'll let me make this chart. Oh, Zoe, go close the door. Holy moly. Oh, it worked. Wow. All right, so let's do this. Have you ever had anybody look at your chart before?
No.
All right, well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go back and get this other chart. What are you doing, little girl? Are you rubbing your whiskers and your little kitty cat cheeks? Huh? All right, so here we go. So what I can do is, you're a Taurus, and there's your Taurus. Your
Yeah.
birthday is right there. The sun is that object. And so that represents your birthday. So you're a Taurus sun and a 20-degree Taurus sun. Oh, okay. So it's got a little bit of a Scorpio vibration to it, that means.
Oh God.
She said, oh God, did you guys hear that? You have a lot of that in your chart, actually. I'm just looking real quickly here. Your moon is in the 8th house. Even though you're a Pisces moon, it's in the 8th house. The 8th house is Scorpio territory.
Oh God, I'm not
So,
forgiven.
well, there's a lot of depth here. There's a lot of soul memory, soul history. There's a lot of karmic energy. Pisces in the 8th, Pisces is really sensitive, right? And the 8th house is about change and transformation and healings, but it's also the deep wounds and vulnerabilities and trauma. So there's a lot of history with this. Pisces can be institutional energy, whether it's a governmental institution, religious institutions, like there's religious might even be it too, because your moon is at 9 and that speaks to religion, actually. So there's something connected to that and to maybe some trauma from the past. So having your sun at 8 degrees, it adds a layer of psychic energy. So because you have Pisces in the 8th, Pisces, I'm very intuitive. 8th, Scorpio, very psychic. You see the combination, the intuition, the psychic abilities, they're really strong.
Yeah, I have a lot of good intuition. I can tell you if I get up and have a dream.
Mhm. Dreams, Pisces energy. Yep.
The last dream I have. My partner and I was in an argument, and I told him that he's gonna die. He
Oh
need,
no.
and I swear to God, he know that my mouth in Jamaica we call it goat. So when I say something, I do not know where it comes from, and he went
Yeah.
and found out he got colon cancer, and it was stage 2, fortunately. But he is a person who do not go to the doctor, so it's like something telling me that he looks sick. I do not know where did I get it from, but
Mhm.
something told me to tell him to go to the doctor, else he's gonna die in 6 months. Only to find out he got colon cancer. So I have a lot of intuition.
Mhm.
But my problem I do have is like I'm feeling stagnant. I can tell somebody to do stuff, but I'm like stuck. I feel stuck. I feel sad. I don't know to describe what is going on with me right now.
Oh, so this isn't a new thing.
No,
I'm
I'm
sorry.
stuck for a long time.
Okay. All right, let's see some other things here. All right, you do have Saturn. Saturn can be kind of restrictive and and can be a little, let's put it like this. Leo is very fun, very
Mhm,
optimistic and fiery, wants
mhm.
to laugh and have it's kind of opposite of what
Hey,
you just described.
no, the thing is that I want to do stuff, but my environment around me is like I got kids, I have adult kids that keep on telling me, Mommy, stop doing that, don't do that. And I'm like, I'm trying to break out of the box, like, leave me, F alone, let me be me. And then, like, I'm afraid of being judged. So I constantly into this box, like, I just want to be free. And just like, I cannot be, I want to do me, but I'm afraid of, I don't know what else. Oh,
Well, they say that Saturn is fear. And
yes.
and the children you talked about, well, that's Leo energy too. Okay, Zoe's really focused on something. I don't know what, but this cat is all of a sudden,
Mm,
well, go get whatever you're looking at. She's razor focused. And Saturn can be restrictive. It can slow things down. It can create limitations and stop signs. Like that's Saturn's job. It can feel heavy and depressive, and it's like a burden.
yes.
It's really serious energy.
Mm-hmm,
So Leo's my fun energy,
mm-hmm.
my laughter, feeling like a kid again. That's Leo
Oh,
energy. Well,
mm,
Saturn kind of squashes it. It's work and duty. This is fun. These are totally opposite of each other.
mm-hmm,
You know, the other thing too is the 12th house is just like that Pisces energy. It's really sensitive. The 12th house tends to sacrifice,
mm-hmm,
and you have family there.
mm-hmm,
You have family in the 12th and also family in regards to children in your
mm-hmm,
12th house. So whether you're sacrificing for them or feeling like you can't do something, there's restrictions, there's slowdowns, whatever that may be, depressive type of energy that squashes your fun. Let me go look at some other, okay, that's what I was thinking. So Uranus Uranus is right here at 9. It's a retrograding, so it's strong. It's in your 4th house. Now, Uranus is normally more about different, exciting, new, independent, and free.
mm,
Having this in your 4th house means a person can be free from their family. They can be independent from their family. They can be detached enough to kind of sever the Scorpio bonds, even. What makes this difficult is this is an exact square to your natal Saturn. That Saturn squares that Uranus. Okay. So that Saturn has the ability to kind of squash the excitement, to kind of squash the Uranus freedoms.
mm.
Right. So that piece of it makes sense in terms of what you've just described. The other thing that you have up here too is your midheaven. The midheaven is my goals, values, right? Your money, your values.
Mm-hmm.
This can be love, but also, who and what you value, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've got it. Like there's like a duty and a responsibility in a domestic aspect in your life here within the home.
Mm-hmm.
You even have Mercury here. You've got a lot here, actually. You've got a lot. This Mercury's in a retrograde. So there's this constant, this emphasizes duty and responsibility and seriousness and more Saturn energy. And it all pertains to family and my emotions and feelings and the past. And there's a wound, an ancestral wound, something from, your ancestry where there's a deep, intense wound.
Mm-hmm.
And it adds a level of vulnerability. It adds a level of just a depth of wounds that you might not know why you feel the way you feel. And it can feel like a burden because this is all up at your 10th house. And again, that is Saturn energy, the burden. And it's the same Saturn that you have sitting right here that rules your 10th house.
And loneliness.
The loneliness, you said?
Yeah.
Well, 12th house can be loneliness and solitude
Mm-hmm.
because of the location of this, the loneliness, the solitude, and feeling like the boss. Because you have your Saturn at 10 degrees. 10 degrees energy, when we're the boss, well, we're the boss. Meaning we're in charge, and many times the boss is there to work, is there to get the job done, doesn't have friends maybe because they're the boss. Somebody's got to be the boss. So that can come through as feeling like loneliness and additionally because it's in the 12th. Like that would be a feeling. Again, we go back to your Pisces moon. The 8th house moon is very sensitive to the nuances of Pisces' energetic sensitivities.
Mm-hmm.
So feeling the emotions of people around you, but feeling the emotions of the past
Mm-hmm.
as if you're still living in it.
Oh God.
Yeah, well, because you have a moon in Pisces at 9 degrees. And because of this, your moon and the feelings and the intensity and the emotions can kind of go overboard at times.
They're crying.
Yeah, it can go overboard because that's that 9 degrees. This is like the same as Jupiter, and it just it brings it on. Meaning, once you open up the faucet, like it might just really flow. Um, the thing with Pisces, especially for people who have a Pisces moon, the layers of sensitivity involved. Okay, we have to build energetic boundaries. We have to build emotional boundaries. We have to learn boundaries, period.
I told my mom that, and she didn't. She's mad. I told
She's
my mom I
mad.
need. Yeah, she's mad. I told her I need boundary because
Yeah.
I realize when my family's around, I'm on the fence. I have to be defending myself, and I feel exhausted when they leave.
Yeah.
And I say I can't do it no more. So
Yeah.
I'm asked for boundary. When I ask for boundary, they're mad. And I said I'm protecting myself because I don't want to be constantly snapping, and I'm tired, and they didn't understand it. And so,
No, people who don't understand the Pisces energy, if they don't have it, they don't understand it.
okay,
But it's who you are. Like this, what you're doing is you're doing it. It's needed for your survival.
okay. So
So
don't
don't feel
feel
bad about it. This is for
okay.
your survival.
Thank you.
Yeah, literally.
Okay.
And with a Taurus sun, like normally how we feel rejuvenated,
Mhm.
how we feel like our battery gets recharged
Yeah.
is where our sun is at in our chart. Well, yours is in Taurus. I know you know that. But
Mhm.
that 20 degrees is work, duties and responsibilities with
Mhm.
creature comforts, with the
Mhm.
earth and the planet itself possibly,
Mhm.
with food, smells, taste, touch,
Mhm.
creating, um, and it is through that avenue that hopefully you can maybe change and transform the wounds of the past and bring a healing.
Mhm.
Because the connection with mom energy, do you view mom as an authority figure in your life?
No. Um,
Do,
it's she's trying now, and I think it's too late. I do not call my mom mom. I call her by her first name, and that happened when I was a kid, where I tried to call her mom, and she did not respond because she had me so young. She did not want nobody to know that she had kids so young.
yeah,
And then when she just of certain age, she want me to start calling her mom. I said I cannot do that because I'm not used to it. And now she's trying. Now she's trying to do mom stuff. And I'm like,
yeah,
I can't do that right now. I have my kids to be focused. It's like she's trying to compete with my kids now. And
yeah.
I like, it's too late. I
She's
don't have.
projecting a lot of her stuff.
Mm-hmm,
She's projecting a lot of the choices that she made in her life,
mm-hmm,
whenever the hell they were,
yeah.
kind of on your shoulders, and it sounds like.
Yes.
And you're doing the right thing. You have to set your boundaries, plain and simple. Plain and
Oh,
simple. Your moon at 9 degrees is about belief systems. Okay. This also symbolizes your mom, your mom.
mm-hmm,
And the thing about about doing what you need to do for yourself, for your existence, for you to stay sane. Pisces has a tendency to want to get away and to escape. And if it doesn't find those healthy outlets by establishing healthy boundaries, it'll
mm-hmm.
find another way. And Pisces tends to turn to substances.
Okay.
So what you're doing by standing up and stating your boundaries is the healthy way to go.
Okay.
The thing with that moon also, because we're on mom again, or
Mm-hmm,
yeah, it's a big part of this. Because look, this Uranus at 9, it connects exactly to that moon.
mm-hmm,
So in the fourth could be a young person, right? That speaks to this astrology, but very unique, very different, can gather a lot of attention because it stands out,
mm-hmm,
can be an authority figure, but can be very detached, can turn that attachment and detachment on and off possibly
mm-hmm,
because it's Uranus in Scorpio. Scorpio's deeply bonded energy. It's
mm,
energetic bonds, it's blood bonds, but this is, well, I can turn that off. I can be detached and we can call it quits type of thing. So
okay.
your mom was able to do it or lived it and had her reasons,
Mm-hmm,
right? But this energy is your chart. So you can also do it.
okay.
You can also um, use that level of detachment to keep yourself sane and to protect your Pisces moon, which
Okay.
is your emotional stability.
Okay.
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 So,
Thank
yeah, I think it's important to understand that, we're not selfish when the choices that we're making are helping ourselves to stay sane.
I thought I was being because I'm wondering, why am I so hungry? Am I being selfish when I told her I need boundary? I even told my sister, I cannot do this no more. I'm almost 50-year old, and I feel like I'm just being controlled.
Right.
I'm on a fence. Everything I'm doing, I'm worrying about what people think. And I'm
Yeah.
like, damn it, I'm tired.
Yep.
So I'm tired.
Well, when the anger comes for you, other than the being tired, because Pisces can feel easily overwhelmed. It's an
Yes,
energetic sponge, is
yes,
Pisces energy. And
yes.
when you have it in the 8th house, remember, we're also carrying like some history here.
Mm-hmm.
So that intensifies and adds to it. And Pisces energy, people don't realize this unless they live it. Pisces can feel like it's drowning.
Mm-hmm.
Life is drowning it, and so it has to do what it has to do so that it's not drowning.
For survival, yeah. Okay.
And if we don't do that, then this is what will happen. The anger and the frustration will
Mm-hmm.
definitely occur because you have Mars in Aries. This is a really strong Mars. It rules Aries energy. You have it at 10 degrees, which means you have the ability to be the boss of your own life.
Okay.
But do you believe it? It's in the house of belief. Well, actually, I keep saying houses. I have to remember this is probably not the house charts. But it's still 10 degrees Mars. That's not going to change. Venus isn't going to change. You have them both here. You have the power. Okay? It's
Okay.
just you accepting that you have it and stating those boundaries for your own health,
Okay.
emotional, spiritual, and physical well-being is not selfish.
Okay.
All right?
Okay. Thank you.
So there you go.
Okay. Thank
I
you.
hope that helps.
Yes, it do help because I keep asking myself, am I being selfish when I ask? But thank you. Now I understand why.
Yeah, that makes all the difference in the world, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
It sure does. All right.
All
You
right.
have a good night. Thank you for waiting.
Thank you.
All right. Take care, Kay. All right. All right. We got kitty cats in the room. Zoe's staring at Taffy. That's what's going on. I couldn't figure out what the hell they're doing. Okay. So we're done. It's 12:07. This is a wrap. I don't know what the hell is going on with my hair, but it keeps going in my damn eyes. And I'm just sitting here. I'm not doing anything. It's like moving all on its own. I think it's the dry. It's so like not, there's just like no moisture in there. So for anybody who, I don't think anyone's here, but in case there's anybody listening that hasn't been here before and who didn't get a chance to have their chart looked at, we do this every Saturday night at 9:30 Central Time. Come here to the channel, get your digits to me ahead of time. The email is down below. Venmo, Cash App are down below. If you send money to the channel, I will spend more time on your chart because that's how it works. You take care of me, I take care of you. And yeah, we will be here back next week. Oh, somebody was messaging me. Okay, I didn't even see that. I don't know why. There's so much going on. I didn't read the private messaging. Anyway, sorry, Stacy. There's a few people that private messaged me and I didn't read any of them. Of course not. So, yeah, come on back next week. We got the email down below and you send your digits. And for people who don't know their birth time, work on that if you can. There are some municipalities where you can send in $10 or $15 and, within 6 months or so, they'll send you your birth certificate, which should have a birth time on it. All right. Once you get that, then we can do a little bit more work. But in the meantime, we can just draw up a noon hour chart. So that's it. We're done. The cats are not in the damn cradle. They're in the room with me, and Taffy sounds like she's in a cradle. She's playing with her toy. She got a toy at Christmas, and she's laying down there pushing the ball around. So everybody have a good week. Stay calm. What do they say? Stay calm and carry on, because this energy, I think Neptune and Aries, yeah, it's a really good possibility that we could hopefully finally be at the end of all the extreme abuse for those who are in power. And in the words of Bernie Sanders, fight oligarchy. Yeah. All right, everybody. What a night. I know, man. I feel like, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I need a drink. That's how I feel. Oh, girls, your mom and dad are blocks away. Holy crap. What timing? Well, they'll be waiting for you. The mother wound. That's right, Kay. The mother wound. Absolutely. Oh, I love your. Oh, cows are just beautiful, aren't they? Yeah. All right. Well, we're signing off. We'll see you guys next week. And we're out. All right. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you, everybody who helped out. Thank you for everybody who sent money to the channel who never even had their chart looked at. We'll do it again next week. All right. Bye-bye.